And one. We live on the way, Israel. We live.
Out the way, Jay Israel.
Out the
Peace
way,
to you,
okay.
Water God.
For real.
Shrewd news and reviews you can use. And we got to talk about NBA Youngboy. I'm not even going to delay, man. NBA Youngboy has said he wants to stop the violence, and he's considering being baptized as a Mormon and getting with the Church of Latter-day Saints. That's what's come out of this recent Billboard interview.
And you know what's crazy? I never I don't know too many people that's in that religion. You know what I mean? That's not one that's popular. So it's like, that's kind of
when
like
you say it's not popular, what you mean?
We just don't have we don't have a lot of celebrities that pledge that. You know what I mean? Like,
is it possible that some people are Mormons and you just don't know?
Don't know. Yeah. Could be the case.
Could be the case.
But could you see where I'm coming from too, though? I never, I don't hear of that.
I can see if you never heard of it.
I mean, no. I heard of it, but I don't. It's not like it ain't like the Christian Muslims, the Jew. It ain't like it's not in the top that
I mean, these are Christians.
Oh, okay. So. Hey, I'm not. No, I'm not the guy. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So let's get some more information. We just trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Let's get some more information. Let me put my thing on vibrate because I'm putting in work right now. All right, now Youngboy Never Broke Again is considering Mormon baptism. In a new Billboard cover story, the rapper discusses his time spent with Mormon missionaries. Damn,
that boy done switched.
You think they bleaching his dome? Is that what I'm saying? In the words of Jay-Z, the crackers up there bleaching your dome. You don't remember when Jay-Z said that?
That was funny line.
Because he up there in Utah. You don't think?
Oh, he in Utah.
Yeah, that's where. Listen, man. Let me continue with the story. Wow. Let's just get all the facts.
Yeah.
In 2022, only Taylor Swift and Drake streamed more than Youngboy Never Broke Again. But even with the enormous popularity, and wildly prolific output, he released 8 full lengths last year. The rapper hasn't revealed much about his personal life. Now, in a candid, lengthy Billboard cover story written by Megan Garvey, the 23-year-old rapper opens up about his new life in snowy Utah, where he currently resides under house arrest. And while the security team limits his visitors to 3 pre-approved people at a time, Youngboy has been entertaining some unexpected guests, Mormon missionaries. The Louisiana rapper turned them away the first time they swung by his home in late 2022. But when they returned, he decided to let them in. I wanted help very badly. I needed a friend, and it hit me, he recalls. It was just so cool to see someone with a different mindset that had nothing to do with business or money. Just these wonderful souls, he tells Billboard. The missionaries now discuss the Book of Mormon with Youngboy regularly, which accounts for his recent High Haters video opening with a quote from the Latter-day Saints tome. According to Youngboy, their visits help him make sure my heart is in the right place. That's a quote. He's planning on being officially baptized in the Church of Jesus Christ, the Latter-day Saints, after his ankle monitor is removed. Even when my negative thoughts come back, when I do want to tell them, not today. I just don't let nothing stop it, he explains. You need a translator for some things Youngboy says. I can't put the Youngboy twang on it, but bear with me, Bob. The rapper's potential baptism dovetails with his growing uncertainty over the violent storytelling in his own lyrics. This year's Rest My Case release on Motown, his first since signing with the label, intentionally featured fewer mentions of guns than on previous projects. While he's aware that lyrical shifts should affect his popularity, what if they don't like me now? He mused about his audience during the interview. He refuses to rap about violence merely to satisfy listeners. I'm not changing. I will not be provoked. I will not be broken. And I'm not going back to who I used to be. Accept it or not, I ain't going back. Now, that's not the full cover story. This is, I
Mm.
guess, a truncated version of the conversation, or just, what Billboard put out there. But given what we have here, you know, we won't belabor the audience with reading the whole uh, article. What is your take on this, Lon? What's your first reaction?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's great for Youngboy. It's great for the Mormons. It's a beautiful story. But yeah, I think this is, as far as his rap career, I think now we're looking at to the the more calmer, more mature Youngboy, and I just don't think he's gonna have the grasp of that young audience anymore. Me personally,
You think he's going to fall off now that he's not talking about
not
violence?
fall off. I just think he gonna have another. He gonna have another. His audience type, his customer base is gonna be different. Gonna be more
Yeah.
mature.
I mean, he
You
might
know.
have a wider audience now.
Yeah,
Maybe he could be more marketable, being that his music is less about murder. Because I really think that's how a lot of rappers shoot to the top now. If they got that drill sound, if they got a checkered path,
it's
if
like
they have
going
a
to the
strip representation.
HBCUs, the coach, right?
Nah, I don't think that's a good comparison at all. It's nothing
Okay.
like that. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bethune Cookman was bad, but not that bad. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? From what we saw in those videos, but not to get too off topic. How much you know about the Mormon
I don't
religion?
know much about it. Like, I don't even want to get caught saying something crazy because I thought it was separate from Christian. So, you know,
Well, it's interesting because let the Mormons tell it, God was racist until about 1978.
me hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, their interpretation of the curse of Ham is
Hmm.
proof of racism in that faith. And prophets claim that this was a divinely inspired doctrine. So this is not just people saying that this is my opinion of the Bible. These racist views were coming from prophets that were getting the word directly from God, allegedly.
Mm.
Yeah. They wouldn't even let blacks be priests until about 1978.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a quote from a guy named Brigham Young on February 5th, and it goes a little something like that, like this. Excuse me. Now, then in the kingdom of God on earth, a man who has the African blood in him cannot hold one jot nor title of priesthood. Why? Because they are the true eternal principles the Lord Almighty has ordained, who cannot help it. Men cannot. Pardon. There was a little pause there, but yeah, the last part was they are the true eternal principles the Lord Almighty has ordained, and who can help it, man cannot. So I think he's trying to say that, yeah, there's not anything that man could do about it. Blacks just ain't gonna be permitted to
That's
priesthood.
crazy.
So I wonder, does NBA YoungBoy know that? And not to mention some other stuff like I watched this movie called Murder Among the Mormons. It's actually more of a documentary on Netflix, and it talks about the salamander letters. And a guy named Hoffman claimed
Right.
that Martin Harris, which was the scribe of Joseph Smith, Joseph Smith is the founder of this whole religion. It says that a salamander led Joseph to these gold plates. And here's the kicker, Bob. Even the salamander was white. And the
Wow.
salamander was supposed to be the spirit of an angel transformed into a white salamander, and this led Joseph Smith to some gold plates.
Oh my
And
God. What did young boy get into?
young boy is free to believe what he wants. In America, we have freedom of religion. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
that he's not allowed to do this. I'm not knocking this, but in my opinion, Mormonism is about
Racist?
not only is it racist. I mean, I think they've changed their ways now to kind of keep up with the times, but
Right.
you know they've had some racist doctrine. I'll say that in the past. And the guy Joseph Smith that founded it, he's been charged with bank fraud, illegal banking, threatening a public official, conspiring to assassinate a public official, incitement of a riot, perjury, polygamy, and treason against two states. And he even once married a 14-year-old girl. And there was a time that he told his wife that God wanted him to have sex with the maid. So
Maybe that's why young
you
boy like this is like
I
man.
see what you're doing, Bob. Don't do that, man. I think young boy just listen, man. People get into religion and stuff like that when they're at sometimes, not everybody, but there are certain people that get it deeper into religion when they're at a low point. He's on house arrest right now. He's not allowed to have a whole bunch of guests. So these people who don't want anything from him, seemingly, just want to tell him about how he could save his soul and how he could live a better life, and maybe that camaraderie, maybe that love, maybe that commonality with faith was just what he needed in his life right then, and it was enough to get him into that. But I think the streets is a cult, the streets is a myth, like Troy Ave would say,
Like the
right?
streets
So
is a religion.
yeah. So I
Right?
feel
It's
like
like a
he's leaving.
religion.
It is. And it's based on a lot of lies, and there's faith wrapped up in that too. But what I'm saying is, it seems like he's leaving one cult to get caught up in another cult, you know. So he said he's considering about getting baptized after he gets his house arrest monitor off. If I could talk to NBA young boy, I'd tell him to reconsider. I'd tell him to reconsider it.
And I mean, I think this probably gives him peace. It's probably like, they caught him at a time he was trying to change, but he didn't have nobody that could give him the right tools and the right, to change. And I think it caught him at the right time where he like, look,
Should
I'm
we
trying to
should
change.
let me ask you something, Bob.
Yeah.
Do you think that we should believe things that aren't true because they bring us peace?
I know. I mean, I don't think we should believe things that no, but that ain't what I was getting at. I was getting at I don't know what they telling him to believe. You get what I mean? I don't know about all of that. But I can see from where he is at, he's probably trying to just change his life. He's been around so much negative, and when he probably see these people and they look like they're just positive, peaceful. You get me? And that's what got him. It ain't that what they preaching. I'm just saying what they presenting him is probably like he see it as, yeah, they ain't trying to ask me for nothing. It's like
Yeah, we went over that part
yeah,
already. But now I'm saying, do you think that you said it brings us peace? That's all good, but do
bring
you
him
think that's
peace.
worth?
I ain't
Okay,
saying
but do you think that's worth believing in stuff that's not true? You know,
no.
untestable magic and stuff like that.
No, I don't think that's the case, but everybody's entitled to believe in their God, and that's up with them and the God they believe in. But nah, man, I don't think so. I don't think you should just be lied to just to be peaceful.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Even though something could bring you peace, if it ain't real,
If it ain't
then
right, it ain't
it could
right.
it could lead you down a dark path. That's all I'm trying to say. So,
Damn.
much respect to NBA YoungBoy for trying to turn over a new leaf. We definitely need maybe a little bit less drill rapping in the game. I ain't gonna lie. I think we're probably in the dark ages of hip hop
I
right
wasn't a
now.
big NBA Youngboy fan. I mean, I didn't really listen to his music.
I'm a
Right?
supporter. I don't got a whole bunch of NBA young boys on my playlist, but I'm a supporter. I follow his career, so well, it's gonna be interesting to see how this pans out. Sometimes I mean, he's on house arrest. This might be jail talk. People in jail be talking
Yeah,
about how they gonna
yeah,
change, and
I
they be
agree. You're
right
right.
back to it 3 months later.
Yeah,
So this
right out the
might just
street
be that
pumping.
kind of stuff. He's still young, but just got to be careful with stuff like that, man. And I recommend anybody to go watch that documentary, "Murder Among
What's
the
the name of
Mormons."
it? Yeah,
"Murder
I'm gonna
Among
check
the
that out.
Mormons" on Netflix. Yeah, they was getting a
Getting
little
deep.
bit. It was getting a little bit gangster behind that Mormonism. So you know he
Now I
think he
thought
think
that
he
blacks
leaving the
was
gangster
Mormons.
lifestyle. He think he leaving the gangster lifestyle. I'm saying that Mormons that got into some gangster shit too.
I had some people in my family that Moors. Is that the same thing?
No,
No?
man, no,
Okay.
no.
Listen, hey
That's another
guys,
story
listen.
for another
I'm
day.
not the one I never studied too much in different religions, so I'm trying to piece it together. Okay, but
Yeah, well,
Mormon sound.
that's good. Like I'm glad we learning. There's times where you bring up stuff you make me think. I might be bringing up some things that make you think. That's what the point of this is.
For real.
Having having the
Thankful
conversation.
conversations, huh?
Yeah, I want to get into
Little
these
baby.
guys losing their opportunities. I just sent you a couple of the stories now since I
The little baby story.
yeah, man, I'm gonna pull that up and the story about that guy Marcus.
The football player.
Yeah, man. He just got signed to West
Marcus
Florida.
Stokes.
Marcus Stokes.
He may be a little bit too good for West Florida, man.
Hey, man.
I ain't even never heard of West Florida.
Okay. Let me see the story I sent you on little baby. Okay. Yeah, man. So now just to kind of give some context, right? I want to see if you're gonna keep the same energy. I shouldn't have even said anything, but I want to see if you're gonna keep the same energy because
Fuck again.
we saw we saw what happened with Kyrie Irving, right?
Yeah, with the DEF CON. Well, he didn't say DEF CON. He
No,
was just
you
he
getting your
said, I'm
you
getting
getting your
him
K's mixed up.
right.
You feel me? There's a Kanye, there's a Kyrie. Just to
Yeah.
revisit, Kyrie shared a documentary that had a lot of untrue things, some anti-Semitic things, and he lost some opportunities. And one of the biggest pushbacks to that I was witnessing was people saying that, if you say anything disrespectful about this one group of people, you get in trouble. But when somebody says something about us, nothing happens. And
Oh Lord, you going there with this?
hold
Go
on
ahead.
now, hold on, I'm gonna go here with this. I think it's important to pay attention when stuff like this happens. These guys is losing opportunities for saying the N word in a rap
That
song.
ain't right. That ain't right.
You saying it ain't right.
No, I don't agree with it. I don't because they not like. I mean, you comparing it to Kyrie.
Yeah.
I didn't think Kyrie. I didn't think Kyrie deserved that punishment he got, and I don't think these guys deserve the punishment for saying the N word
Okay,
because
then.
I don't think they're rapping a rap song, and unfortunately, the music that they're listening to, they say the N word. And people can say the N word in a brotherly manner. They're not saying it in a hateful or harmful way, but rappers
Uh,
do.
Oh, so
You know,
you giving him a pass?
I'm giving them a pass that they're not now. If they was calling somebody that on the street in a derogatory manner, yeah, get them up out of here. You get me? But if they're
Oh,
rapping a rap song and the words come out, get them boys a break, man.
okay. Well, I'll read the article. We know that this is a guy who had a scholarship. He was on tape rapping the N word, lost it, lost the scholarship. Then he was uh, given another opportunity from an HBCU, but then I think that kind of fell through. We'll get into it now because he's
Right.
now signed
That
at
was even worse.
West
They're like,
Florida. West Florida. But anyway, all right. Former Gators QB commit Marcus Stokes signs with West Florida. Quarterback Marcus Stokes, a former Gator commit who had his scholarship withdrawn in November, has signed with West Florida. Former Florida class of 2023 quarterback commitment Marcus Stokes committed to and signed with West Florida on Wednesday, National Signing Day, just yesterday. Florida withdrew Stokes' verbal scholarship offer on November 20th after a video surfaced on social media of the quarterback uttering a racial slur while singing a rap song. He had been committed to the Gators since July 7th. He said, I fully accept the consequences for my actions and respect the University of Florida's decision to withdraw my scholarship offer to play football, Stokes wrote on Twitter at the time. A product of Ponte Vedra, Florida. You know, I used to be up there in Ponte Vedra every time and again, running around there. Uh,
so
Stokes has accounted for 1,867 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions on 54.8% completion during the senior campaign, also rushing for 13 touchdowns. And he tossed 22 touchdowns and 9 interceptions
okay.
and 9 interceptions the season prior. What were you going to say, Bob?
I said them numbers ain't look too good for him to be
Yeah, I
like
mean, it wasn't too crazy. He's
average.
lucky going anywhere, right?
Right.
Yeah, but he received his first scholarship offer following the incident from Albany State University and HBCU in Georgia on January 24th. Head coach Quinn Gray Sr. released a statement on January 27th, just 3 days later, apologizing for the action. However, although he did not suggest whether the offer had been retracted or not.
Yeah, because he gonna be around there rapping a whole bunch of more rap songs with nigga in it. You putting them right around that you putting them right back around that arrow. If you putting them at
You think
HBC.
his teammates ain't heard him say that before?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't like that they punishing this young man like that, man.
I'm with you, but this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
The argument when I was saying, listen, man, you say something with the stuff that's in that DVD, I wasn't surprised of Kyrie getting some kind of backlash, some kind of reprimand. I knew there was going to be something behind that, right? What I'm saying is,
right.
people were telling me it's because he was talking about a certain group of people. Here we have an example of a guy who's not even saying the N-word in a hateful way. He didn't say that slavery didn't happen. He's not saying that black people are in a league with Satan or anything hateful. He's singing a song that we may have sung before. He probably got black friends, playing football, stuff like that. I don't know that much about him, but it doesn't seem super clear to me that he was saying this in a mean way, and he still lost opportunities. So my point is just to say that we're in a very race sensitive time right now, and you're gonna get in trouble if you say something that could be taken as racist, no matter who the group is. I don't agree with saying that people don't get backlash for saying racist things, because you see sometimes the backlash is even a little heavy-handed. He might have got a little bit too much. Like even if he wasn't supposed to say it, which I can see if it's gonna be taken that way, you probably shouldn't be saying stuff like that. But damn, I don't think he should lose his opportunity to go to school. That seems like
That's
something he could
crazy.
have apologized for and just
No.
moved on. Like, who's mad about this? And then the HBCU had to resend the offer. Now, I mean, I don't know if they rescinded the offer. I mean, they said that the coach made a statement apologizing for giving him the offer, but I don't know if they took it back. But if it's that big of a deal, the way that it was presented in the news, you
That's
know,
crazy.
it might be like an Ed Reed type of situation where they was seeing the backlash before the ink was even dry in the deal, and they was like, you know what, we could just bust a U-turn on this whole situation because we don't need the
Yeah.
negative press. We can find
Yeah.
somebody else who could slang that pill,
Yeah.
if you will. You know, so keeping in that same theme, I want to point to another story just to let you know.
Hey, playing
I
back up.
mean, you would think seeing these stories, the same people who were saying that, like, oh, people don't get in trouble for, saying racist things about black
No,
people.
but that's
Would
we
they be
can't
happy
put that.
about this?
No, because I don't think it's the same. I don't think, but like you said, I don't think what Kanye. I think what his tweet was a tweet. He tweeted a movie,
I didn't
and
even bring up Kanye.
I mean not Kanye. I mean Kyrie. I'm
Kyrie.
getting the K's mixed up.
Yeah, I don't want to
Uh,
go too deep into that. I'm just saying. We
for
we
this,
brought we made examples about
these are
George
kids,
Sterling.
bro. Yeah, these
Listen,
are
we made
kids.
examples about George Sterling losing his team over saying something when that's something he's saying in his private relationship. We drew examples. We showed other football players that had said some anti-Semitic stuff and they was losing stuff. So now we have another example of just the sheer mentioning of the N-word, even if it got an A at the end, even if it's not the hard ER. You better not say nothing bad about black people because your ass might lose an opportunity. Let's get into the facts before we opine too much. Chelsea soccer star investigated for rapping N-word in freestyle TikTok. Lil Baby's 2017 triple platinum hit Freestyle, specifically its use of the N-word, has landed Chelsea soccer star Mikhailo Mudryk in hot water. I apologize for that pronunciation. The 22-year-old winger who joined the Premier League club in a $75 million transfer from Shakhtar Donetsk in his native Ukraine earlier this month used a racial slur while rapping along to the song in a video posted to TikTok last July. How you feel about them calling it a racial slur? Isn't this a term of endearment if it's in a
Right.
rap
That's
song?
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I
we'll
mean, certain
continue.
rap songs they use it different ways. You know what I mean? But
I never heard nobody rapping like the hard NR, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure they wasn't meaning it like that. So there's some kind of like nuance you got to have when you listen to that. But okay, we'll continue. The since deleted clip, which was viewed over 200,000 times, recently resurfaced on social media in the wake of his big money move to London. See, as soon as you get the bag, they try to, let me go on, bringing the hotly tipped talent under fire. Mudryk's team issued an apology shortly after, insisting he didn't mean to cause any offense. Uh, Mikhailo is deeply sorry for the offense caused by the video posted on his TikTok account last July, his representative said in a statement. Whilst his intention was solely to recite lyrics of a song, Mikhailo regrets his decision and wholeheartedly accepts it was not appropriate. The video has since been removed. I got to tell you, both of those apologies seem pretty all right to me, too.
yeah, but it's like I think they reaching for these guys, dog.
I know you said that.
They
we
reaching, man.
we get it.
We need
Let's
to
see a
really
five
get the
star.
real racist guys. Oh, so this is it right here.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
hear. Let me hear what he rapping somebody else song. Who's saying them?
Hold on. Let me get it out.
I just put on many eggs. Real nigga in my face. 500 racks in my safe. 500 racks with the blue.
Hey, Hey, I'm not mad. I'm not offended.
Right.
He was sliding on that though. I thought he had that out. He had a nice little vehicle. You know what I'm saying? That song is jamming.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is a big celebrity all over the world, and this is his lyrics. It's like I don't know, man. I
All right.
think
So
this
with
is
all of
bad.
that we
This is
say,
bad.
still it hasn't stopped some of English soccer's biggest and most powerful organizations from taking action. According to the Athletic, the Football Association, the country's governing body of soccer, has launched an investigation into the matter. Leading anti-discrimination group Kick It Out, meanwhile, condemned Mudrik's use of the N-word regardless of his context. They're like, nigga, we don't give a fuck what you was
Like, y'all
doing.
just trying to get money out the man? You know, it seems like to me like y'all.
I mean, they're taking this racial stuff seriously. Let me continue.
This ain't racist though.
Hold on. Kick It Out condemns the use of racial slurs, including the N-word, irrespective of context, it said in a statement. The N-word is deeply offensive, and the use of this term by high-profile figures in football can only serve to alienate people from the game. See, it's bigger than the player. It's about the game. That's what you ain't getting. Hold on. Let me finish.
Man.
Hold on. Let me finish. The statement continues. It is important that footballers use their significant platform in a positive way, and we're encouraged to see that Mykhailo Mudryk has acknowledged the hurt caused by his use of the offensive slur. While it remains to be seen whether Mudryk will be punished over the video, the FA hasn't been shy in punishing the use of racial slurs in the past. In 2021, former Manchester United striker and Uruguayan international Edison Cavani was given a 3-game ban and €100,000 or $123,000 fine for using the word negrito in an Instagram post to a friend.
Negrito.
Yeah, it seems like that means little nigga. I got spruce up on my Spanish, but negrito sounds like little nigga to me. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you could look that up while I'm reading. But in one of the most high-profile cases of racism in the Premier League, fellow Uruguayan Luis Suarez, who at the time played for Liverpool, was handed an 8-match suspension and a €40,000 or $49,000 fine in 2011 after he was found guilty of racially abusing Manchester United defender Patrice Evra during a game between the rival clubs. I don't know. That sounded a little bit, fitting. If he was calling him something racial during the game and taunting him, I don't have a problem with that one. But this seems different. I will agree with you on that. We're on the same page. Mykhailo Mudryk is far from the only white rap fan to face backlash for using the N-word while reciting lyrics. Last year, a Wu-Tang Clan from the UK was... What?
Yeah, you.
I'm trying to read it, but this is written wrong. This is what
from the UK was fine.
Yeah, but that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
He probably put himself a part of you. He probably claimed you Wu-Tang Clan.
A Wu-Tang Clan fan from the UK was fined $500 or $617 for using a racial slur while recording himself rapping along to protect your neck for TikTok in a women's bathroom stall. Wow. So back in 2018, a white woman was checked by none other than Kendrick Lamar after she failed to censor herself while performing Mad City on stage with him at a hangout. Yeah, but she ain't get fined or nothing. What the hell you talking about? I don't know why they even brought that up. And DX, we got to shout them out. We appreciate the story, but this article is written terribly. we need better oversight over there. But yeah, thanks for bringing us the story. But dang, this seems like a miscarriage of justice. This is the biggest miscarriage of justice
at all. Stop playing that music then, or don't let their music be on if you feel like it's racial slurs, because is being heard by millions of people around the world, and they're gonna do
Wait a
nothing but
minute,
sing
Bob.
it.
Well, let's back up. Who's gonna stop the music?
They can't. So if you can't, if
You
music
said
like
stop the music then.
I'm saying they need to write. I mean, they can't stop the music, but if this music is the type of music that's out there that kids are singing, and these guys is going platinum and triple platinum, it's hard for me to understand that people are not going to be rapping these lyrics. I don't care what color they is.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. If a rapper came out that was Jewish and he was using like a slur that is used to refer to Jewish people, I probably wouldn't be rapping that song. Even if it's okay for him to say it, I probably wouldn't be rapping that song on video. Just the climate that we in right now, I don't care how good the song was. I probably just wouldn't. I would just understand that wouldn't look good. You know, I just think these guys got a little bit too comfortable. I'm gonna be real. They got a little bit too comfortable. It's okay for us to do it. We can't really face no backlash because we black, but they should have known that they don't have the complexion for the protection on that issue right there. It's like you got all this privilege in all this one areas, all these other areas. This is the one area where you gotta kind of tread lightly. Yeah, dog. Like, damn, you done got privilege with everywhere else, dog. This is the one thing that you can't really. So, you know, I think they just kind of gotta. They kind of just gotta wear that. Now, I'll be real with you. I'm with you. I'm not offended.
That's crazy.
I understand. I don't think they need to lose their opportunity to play, but in the future, just watch your motherfucking mouth. Straight up. Watch your mouth, white boy. No, I'm just playing. Nah, seriously though, I don't have to call them white boys, but no, watch your mouth though. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might, y'all public figures, like they said, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might get the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You on camera, you know, watch your mouth, man. You can't just be rapping little baby lyrics. Yeah. and plus, I like another point that they made. It's bigger than them. This is about the game. They're trying to put asses in seats. There's already a lot of racist stuff going on in soccer games, bro. And the most racist people are the fans. So they're trying to probably revamp their image, and they're not going to let one monkey stop the show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, look, you going to get with the program or you going to get left. You get right or get left. That's how it's going to go. Because we can find a lot of people who can dribble a ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not going to stop this money train without you. You ain't nothing but an employee.
Damn.
So
it's deep, man.
That's reality for you.
Reality for them, yeah. Watch your mouth, man, because you can lose some money. Anything got to do with you losing money, man. You gotta walk light.
Yeah. And don't put your money where your mouth is. How about that? How about that? Now it's the second day of Black History Month. So I think it's only right that we kind of just switch to a more serious tone and maybe talk a little bit about Tyre Nichols or the stories that have come about from, you know, the tragedy that occurred with Tyre Nichols. One that really struck a chord with me was Jason Whitlock's reaction to what happened with Tyre Nichols.
Okay.
Now, did you catch that, by the way?
Yeah, I caught that. I didn't think it fit the situation, what he was saying.
All right. Well, let's just play it for the audience so they know. Let me see.
I definitely didn't think it fit the situation, what he was trying to say, but
yeah, he was basically trying to blame the situation on single mothers. Was that it?
Yeah, that's what I heard. You get what I mean?
That's what it seemed like he said, right?
Right. I didn't
Jeez.
actually hear it right from him on what he actually said. It'd be good for us to take that. So
Yeah, I didn't have it ready to go, but let me see if I can pull it up.
it's I don't want to put no words in his mouth, but I was hearing from other people, what they said he was saying.
Yeah, I don't want to get it wrong either. Oh yeah, he says something about baby mama culture. I got the
Baby
one
mama
from
culture.
yeah, I got the one that he did with Tucker Carlson, and then maybe we'll go to the little video that Comedy Hype had on it too. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go to Jason Whitlock and Tucker, and then we'll go to
We're gonna
the
hear
other
what
one.
he said though first, right? I don't want to be jumping on the man's neck, and I don't know, unless you want me to jump on his neck. Now, if you just want me to jump on the man's neck,
No, no, no. I'm gonna share it with you. I'm pulling it up right now. I mean, something else before I get into this, and I hate to beat around the bush with it. So if you listening in, bear with me. But remember when Jason Whitlock, I got to go back to Kyrie again. Remember when Jason Whitlock was defending the Hebrew Israelites that was marching outside of the game? When that happened, a lot of people on my timeline was like, dang, I wouldn't expect that kind of sport from Jason Whitlock. Because to them, it looked like Jason Whitlock had a pro black stance,
okay,
right? A lot of
yeah,
people were fooled by that. And what they didn't realize is Jason Whitlock was only supporting the Hebrew Israelites, in my opinion, because they perpetuate the same kind of hate that Jason Whitlock perpetuates. They're going to be hard on gay people, they're going to be highly religious, and he says stuff that is along the lines of religious extremism. So that was kind of like right up his alley. To me, he's more of a radical Christian guy, a radical Christian conservative. That's the
okay,
guy who he is. So that's why you see him talking with Tucker Carlson and stuff like that. But not to put any words in his mouth. I got the video pulled up, and we're gonna hear a little bit from Jason Whitlock while he's basically dragging my mom. If you
dang,
really want to put it in perspective for me,
you going there? Yeah,
that's what it sounds like to me. You
let's
know,
hear. Oh, he
um,
be on Fox.
yeah, he be on
Oh
Fox,
man,
man. He got his own little show. Let's just get into it.
To take us to a good place, I would examine the racial element of this because there
Yeah,
is a racial element. And this is a story about young black men and their inability to treat each other in a humane way. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 to 32 years old. Everybody.
okay,
Group of young black men, 5-on-1. Looked like gang violence to me. It looked like what
mm-hmm.
young black men do when they're supervised by a single black woman. And that's what
Sound
they got
good
going
right
on
now.
in the Memphis Police Department. They've elected some or put some black woman in charge of the police force, and we're getting the same.
let's pause. You said that sounds good. What part sounded good to you?
What he was saying about what it looked like, that it looks like gang violence. That's what it looked like to me, what they was in, as far as the beating on Tyre Nichols.
Okay, so that's the part that you said
Yeah,
sounded
I
good.
agree with
Good.
him on that.
Okay.
Kind of chaos and disunity and violence that we see in a lot of these cities that are run by single mothers. If we want to discuss the breakdown of family that leads to disrespect for authority, that causes you to resist the police and run from the police and not comply with the police because you resist authority at all time, because there was no male authority in your home, let's have that discussion. But that's not where they want to take us. They want
No.
to take us down the path of saying, you know what, this is Tucker Carlson's fault. This is this is Donald Trump's fault. It's not. It's the breakdown of
Mm,
family and the buying in to all these left-wing things that have nothing to do with promoting family.
You've been on the show so many times, and every single time you say something.
Wow, that's what they talk about.
Yeah, I mean, he really didn't hold back, did he? He really just
Well, what I could take from what he said, the breakdown of family part, when he said the single woman running a department, this is what you're gonna get. That's when it was like, yeah, I don't think her playing a part of over the department had anything to do with it. But I can understand where he could say a breakdown in family can have some kids with not having that discipline at home. But is he talking about the police officers or is he talking about the kid who died? You get what I mean? Like, where are you
it
going?
sounds like he was blaming the victim. He said it sounded like he was saying that this happened to Tyre Nichols because he didn't have a father at home, so he didn't learn to respect authority, and because he was resisting, he got dealt with. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know. Right. I don't know who he was talking about with the broken home. Was it the officers or right? If he's talking about Tyre Nichols, yes, man. I don't think the broken home had anything to do with him losing his life. Seems like he was complying.
Jason Whitlock seems to be.
Yeah.
But he even blamed women again. Jason Whitlock doesn't appear to like women. He blames women again because he said the officers are behaving how men behave when they're being run by black women or single black women. I think people need to wake up, man. This is the same guy that they thought was pro-black when he was defending the Hebrew Israelites that was marching outside of the Barclays Center. This is the guy that he's always been. So I hope people got their wake-up call, those people who thought that he was on their side. I hope they realize that he's in the same bag as Candace Owens. He gets paid by these right-wing people to blame everything on black people. You know, and we now know that there's evidence, there's data to suggest that black people are killed and brutalized at a much more frequent rate than other races when it comes to dealing with police. Yeah. But there's no evidence that suggests that the color of the police officer makes any difference in us getting killed or getting beat up. So this is a policing problem. And it's crazy how he manages to blame everything on black women and black people, and he never mentions it being a policing problem, this police culture of brutality and stuff like that and violence that we've seen for years and years. We're seeing that since before Rodney King, but I mean, that's going on all the time. And he never says anything about white supremacy.
Right.
That's what put our you want to talk about, families being broken. Let's talk about how redlining broke families. Let's talk about how the accumulated failure of slavery that these families have to cause and their property values going down, just from being black, how that could break up a family and how we always going to be, second-class citizens in this country because we got a two-tier justice system. That's the kind of stuff he should be talking about, not blaming it on a marginalized group, and especially not this guy that seems to be a nice guy from everything I could see. He moved back to California to help his mom. He was into skateboarding. A lot of people got nice things.
Oh, you're talking about the dude, yeah.
Yeah, Tyre Nichols. A lot of people got nice things to say about him. It just, it just seems like Jason Whitlock doing what he does. I think I got another video where this guy, they got another little clip of him. Let's see if I can find it. I think Comedy Hype had a video breaking down some things that he said.
Got 230 subs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is Jason Whitlock's response.
What do you want?
What a job.
Let me see if I could just let that ad go by real quick, and then I want to get to about
Yeah,
the
it wasn't
1 minute mark where
Yeah, it
they
wasn't
start.
nothing that boy could it wasn't nothing that a family could have did for him then, you know.
Yeah, in the situation that Mr. Nichols was in, right?
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, that's
Just a
that's a
wrong.
red herring he's using, you know.
But it is a problem. Our broken families is a problem in our
I
community.
mean, yeah, but that's a
That's
problem.
a
That's
whole
a
nother.
that's
It
a
don't have nothing to
conversation
do
for
with this.
another day. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not going to allow him to distract me
use
from
that.
what's
Yeah.
going on. You know, that's a red herring. We're gonna get into what a red herring is too, but let's hear his
Turn your mute
response.
off.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's go.
Is more out of line with God's natural order.
And instead, leadership
Dr.
while
King right
criticizing
there.
single Black women. Today we'll have our company hype analyst.
Many options.
I'm trying to find the beginning when he started talking. My bad.
Order
Say he the
than
man.
Black
He the
people.
man
Let's just
version.
go here.
70% of
And
our
it's
kids
over.
born to unwed mothers. We don't view family as a necessity for success. It's just one of many options. The matriarchy, it doesn't work.
White supremacy.
Critics say my criticism is off base because Tyre Nichols has a mother and a stepfather, and that the city's female police chief, Cyril Davis, is married and a mother. No one survives a rotten culture unscathed. The pervasiveness of baby mama culture harms everyone, including the non-participants forced to operate within it. Police start gangs to combat gang violence. Young men without fathers in the home are attracted to gangs. Baby mama culture celebrates gang involvement. Black men see Black women as our leaders, our saviors. I don't. We got preachers sitting in pulpits that want to tell you, well, it's from slavery 150 years ago. And until we resolve slavery from 150 years ago, there's nothing we can do about it. It's a joke. And I'm the one catching criticism for saying, hey, this is about the family. This is about a matriarchal culture. That's how crazy this thing is. That's how dishonest this whole thing is. The system that's going on right now is about the destruction of male leadership. And all the leverage in a relationship has been thrown to one side, women. And Black women have run wild with it. And I don't care if that pisses you off, but that's the reality. They've taken that leverage. I don't need no man. I'll have his baby, and then I will hold that baby over his head like a gun. I will use all this system that we've constructed
That's
to
not all
emasculate that
women,
man.
though, Jason.
Now, while there are many things that we can
That's crazy. This guy gets paid to do that. This guy gets paid to do that.
He generalizing they'll take the bad part, they'll take you get me, the negatives out of a situation that they can find, and he just blowed that up. But that's not all women ain't like that. You can't, we got bad apples in every, it's a couple bad apples you can point out all the time, but just to point that out in this, I don't see where it relates. I don't see where, we talking about police brutality here, or we talking about families. Like, what are we talking about? You get what I'm saying? Like, where we at? Like, if you want to talk about families, we could talk about families now. You get me? But right now we talking about police brutality on Nichols. So it's like, how would that been fixed if he would have had his father in the home? What would have made that situation different?
Listen, man, there's people who got fathers in the home that join gangs. He's painting with a broad brush, and he's arguing in bad faith. I think he's a little bit too smart to even believe the stuff that he's saying. I'm going to put you on to what he's doing. Hold on. It's important that we bring stuff like this up. You see my screen?
Yeah.
What he's using is called a red herring. And a red herring is something that misleads or distracts from a relevant or important question. It may be either a logical fallacy or a literary device that leads readers or audiences toward a false conclusion. A red herring may be used intentionally, as in mystery fiction, or as part of a rhetorical strategy, or may be used in argumentation inadvertently. The term was popularized in 1807 by English polemicist William Cobbett, who told a story. Thank you for that correction. 1807 by English polemicist William Cobbett, who told a story of having used a strong smelling smoked fish to divert and distract hounds from chasing a rabbit. So, where I'm going with that is we don't even need to be given that too much time. His whole narrative of this being about single black women and their father not being in a home, that's what he wants. This is about men, a group of goofy gangsters that were pepper spraying each other and beating a young man to death when they could have de-escalated the situation, when they could have apprehended him and took him to jail. They didn't have a license to do him like that, and it's not something that's new to us. I mean, when we see high-speed chases where we're from,
Right.
you'll notice that when the police catch up with the guys, usually on the news, they turn the camera away because everybody knows what's about to happen. If you put the police on the chase when they catch you,
they're gonna beat you, boy. Yeah,
that's just a known thing.
they did me like that.
They've done a lot of us like that. I've been a victim of police brutality in my day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is not nothing new to me, and I'm not gonna let Jason Whitlock play the mind games with me and we talk about the black family and all of that. I mean, that could be easily that just argument, it doesn't stand, it falls, you know, with any real criticism.
Yeah, it don't fit the story. But
It doesn't fit the story.
Yeah, it don't fit the story at all. But okay, that's a whole nother topic that we can discuss, but it has nothing to do with, you know, this scenario. But I can say we do have an issue with broken families, but we can't bring that up right now. We got to bring up police brutality, you know?
Yeah, that's the issue at hand. That's the issue at hand. There was also a nasty rumor that came up. By now, I hope everybody kind of realizes that, you know, those stories about Tyre Nichols being involved in an affair is just not true. I mean, we have no evidence of that being true. A lot of people thought this was a real thing, though. I mean, I have friends sharing this on their timeline, and
wow,
it's not even, you know, it wasn't verified by anybody, and I've seen it debunked on Newsweek.
So it wasn't verified, so we can't say it's true or not true, basically.
Yeah,
or unless we got evidence that it's not true.
I mean, if you're gonna make a claim,
you're
gonna make a claim, you got to have evidence. You know, you can't switch the burden of proof on the other person. Like, say, like, now we got to prove that it's not true. No.
Yeah.
What evidence does anybody have to say that? Which is none. Most people just read a headline and shared it without verifying it. They were just thirsty for a story, and maybe they couldn't wrap their heads around a group of black guys beating another black guy to death. Which, you know, for some reason, people like to feel, you know, if we're scared of cops, they feel like they should feel safer if it's a black cop, if we black. There's no evidence to suggest that that was ever a smart way to look at that situation. But we'll go through this just for clarity. Tyre Nichols' rumored connection to cop's ex-wife under investigation. The Memphis Police Department is currently investigating Rumors regarding a possible connection between Tyre Nichols and the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend of one of the Memphis cops arrested and charged in Nichols' death. On Wednesday morning, Newsweek asked the Shelby County District Attorney's Office if it is investigating possible rumors connecting Nichols to the ex-girlfriend or ex-wife of former Memphis cop Demetrius Haley. Additionally, Newsweek asked about the rumors that Haley sent photos of Nichols to his ex-wife following the violent arrest of the 29-year-old black man. All of this is still under investigation. Those are things, along with the participations of others, that are now subject to our investigation, a spokesperson for Shelby County District Attorney told Newsweek. Which I think is okay. I think when it comes to this, investigate everything. Now that people are talking about it, they got to investigate it. But I don't know where that came from, if there was any proof of it.
Right.
Erica Williams, the director of communications at Shelby County District Attorney's Office, clarified to Newsweek that rumors about Nichols having a connection to the woman have not been confirmed. So if it hasn't been confirmed, we really don't need to be spreading this. We know that there have been questions about other officers and the fire department personnel on the scene, persons remotely operating cameras, the potential of false reporting, among other things. We are now at the stage of our investigation where we are looking into all of these matters, Williams told Newsweek. Also a good thing. At this time, none of these accusations are confirmed. However, nothing is off the table as this is a very active investigation and still early in the investigations, Williams added. Last week, 5 former Memphis police officers were charged in the death of Nichols, who died from injuries following a traffic stop in the Hickory Hills neighborhood. The 5 officers are identified as Tadarius Mean, Demetrius Haley, Desmond Mills Jr., Emmett Martin III, and Justin Smith. They're all charged with 1 count of second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression.
So they're going to investigate it. So we don't know if it's true. But you're saying that they're going to investigate it just because of the fake stories, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, if they're police, if people are talking about stuff, they're not going to take anything off the table, they're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're saying that this is unverified.
Due to lack of evidence.
Yeah. As the parents have said that the rumor is not true. So, I mean, honestly, if we're being objective, they might not have known about it, but this is they would want to be forthcoming about any information about it. After the introduction, I asked them any questions that they want me to send to the community, and the pop said yes. And with a stern and firm tone, he said, "Squash that rumor about our son dating one of those officers' wives, girlfriend. Please squash that rumor. That is not true." That's a quote from Bess, who is a general manager for the school's radio and TV station in Memphis, Shelby County. He wrote in a Facebook post. Yes, yeah, so it's just a rumor now. Ben Crump is on the case. What do you think about Ben Crump?
I think he just, show face a different kind of, I mean, he always is on popular cases, so he don't seem like he just be on popular cases, man. I don't think he's like a,
I know somebody gonna get sued when he come around. I'll say that.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
is that a bad thing though?
Right, that's his profession, but he just seems like a clout chaser, but we all clout chase though.
That's what I always say. I mean, we all clout chasing now.
But when you getting a real bag off of clout chasing like he is, it's like it's a difference.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. He's from Parkway. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's from Lauderdale. He's from Lauderdale. I think he's from Parkway though.
I ain't know that.
Yeah,
I may need to watch my mind.
For real, he might be able to reach out and touch you. Eh?
Pull up on me.
No, but like, I just got that question for you because I'm still undecided about Ben Crump. He seems like he says the right things. He seems like he's emotionally connected to these stories, as am I. So I haven't really, I don't know how effective he is as an attorney. I guess I need to do my
Right. I mean,
homework
he don't.
on him.
To me, he's not no Johnny Cochran. You know what I mean? Old Johnny Boy was like, he was the man. But hey, he may be the next coming best thing. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll agree that he's not Johnny Cochran. He's Ben Crump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll have to, it's a developing story. So
Johnny
we'll definitely
Cochran
have
say,
to follow
"The
it.
glove don't fit. You must have quit."
Yeah, we don't want to go back too far. But I do want to hear a little bit of. We know that recently Tyre Nichols had a funeral. Al Sharpton was there. There were other notable figures in attendance, we'll say, and our friend Steven Jackson has something to say. He had a response. I thought. Well, we could react in real time because I really haven't heard the response, but I immediately was turned off because I just feel like Steven Jackson is one of those guys that does a little bit too much. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see what Jack had to say.
Jack the King clout chaser. He King clout.
Am I sure? Hold on. Let me share my screen so I could let the audience in on it, just in case you missed it, folks. Steven Jackson. He got something to say about all matters black.
Of course.
Let's go.
He got a podcast.
Yeah, go get you a steak, some mashed potatoes, seasoned salad, and enjoy it. Much love to everybody out there, man. You dig? Hope y'all having a blessed and prosperous day. Hope y'all living y'all life your way. Don't compromise. Speak your mind. Treat people how you want to be treated. Do something for somebody that don't benefit you. And stay out the way.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
I told y'all, if y'all watch my podcast when we was in Vegas, I love everybody, bro. I hope every man catch their wave. Hope all y'all catch y'all wave, man. It's enough for us all out here.
Not bad so far.
Stay out the way, man. You gotta stay out the way, man. You gotta stay out the way.
Out the way, Jay. Deuce T, Water God, coming at you.
That's what I'm doing. Completely.
Out the way, Jay.
I don't want to beef with nobody. I don't want to argue with nobody. I'm gonna speak my mind.
Man,
if you don't like what I gotta say, so be it. I'm gonna speak my mind. Hey guys.
Why you got
what's up with it? I love everybody, dog.
Yeah, why they in the cage?
I love everybody. I got my opinion, and
You love everybody. You got this big ass house, but you got the animals locked away in little cages. Whoa, we'll get back to that in a minute, man.
I stand on my opinions and the way I feel, but I don't want to harm nobody or argue with nobody, nothing like that. But I got my opinion, and I'm gonna stand on that. Dog. And I don't give a if you like it or not. You did. Hey y'all.
Hey y'all. I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean. I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to nobody.
Man, get them puppies some water, man.
I don't want to beef with nobody. But you gonna respect my opinion.
We don't have to respect your opinion. you can have an opinion, but we don't have to respect it. Let's see what you got. Get to. You
ain't gotta like it. You ain't got to agree with it. I'm fine with disagreeing with people. And I love everybody, man. Shout out to Sharpton and Crump. But I seen some shit. You know what I'm saying? I speak on shit that I know, that I see.
Here we go.
I don't speak on shit that I know of. And I seen some shady shit in that George Floyd time. They know I seen it.
Oh.
I ain't got to go in detail about it, but you know what I'm saying? But I ain't much love to them. Keep doing y'all thing. I just speak on shit in the real way. I ain't sugarcoating nothing. I put myself in the way. Whoever you is, bro, obviously you either a cloud chaser or you don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I have experience, and I've said these things before on other shows. So a lot of people look better if they did their homework.
He rolling up.
You know what I'm saying? Before they just start speaking. Like all the people were saying all the stuff about Ginobili was better than me. And you entitled to saying that, but I had to show the numbers because Ginobili is one of my favorite teammates. We got along. Me and Ginobili didn't have no problems. But I had to post that because people just saying all the stuff but don't know how live I was. So sometimes you got to show people, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, especially if it's facts.
Oh, he's saying he was better than Ginobili?
I don't speak on stuff I don't know, and I was in the middle of it.
He was saying he got.
You wasn't around in the George Floyd time, bro. So you can't tell me what I saw. You see what I'm saying? So people always say experience is the best teacher, right? So experience is the best teacher with everything, except when the athlete talking about other athletes, because the fans get in their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Experience is not the best teacher when another player is talking about another player. Oh, you don't know that? You just hate it.
Yeah, he going off on another tangent now. I don't know. That can't be what everybody's reacting to.
I don't hear nothing.
Really
Let's play it out. Hold on. He might have said it's 14 seconds, 16 seconds left.
Man, I'm tired of hearing him, man. I don't know how anybody could watch it. I'll play it out.
Well, I got the experience, fam.
That's what you wanted?
That's it. I don't hear that he calling them out, but I can attest. I don't like Al Sharpton's character, man. I mean, to hear some of the things he did, you know, when he was an informant for the FBI and tried to get Don King bound. Yeah, I definitely think he's a clout chaser.
Man, you acting like he snitched on you or something. You feel me? What you got to do with Don King?
Yeah, you ain't seen the tape. They got a tape where he was recorded and he was, you know, talking to the drug guy or whatever. And he got out of that deal, whatever. He was an informant for the mob. You know, he informed and got the mob cased up. I mean, I'm just saying he don't seem like to me, when you go on things like that, it's just, you just don't seem credible or genuine, you know? My opinion. How you feel about Al Sharpton?
He's all right. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know that. I don't know too much about him. I know he put in some work in the streets. I respect, you know, his legacy. You know what I'm saying? I like what
put in some work in the streets. What kind of work you talking about?
Activism.
Oh,
you know, he sheds light on a lot of things that needed to be spoke on. Yeah. So I can't, you know, I ain't gonna, and then at least Al Sharpton is out there trying to make moves politically, you know, in some way. I ain't saying he's not really my hero or anything like that, but he's at least involved in politics. I don't see Steven Jackson even. Does Steven Jackson even tell people to vote? Does he vote? I only seen him talking about George Floyd, you know. Who was he to be talking about Al Sharpton, you know? Al Sharpton was out here for a minute, bro. You know, that's kind of like one of our elders, you know.
Yeah.
Nigga gotta bring me something on Al Sharpton that's like, you know, heavy. You know, I ain't out here caping for Al Sharpton, but you gotta tell me something he did. I mean, that was so terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, seemed like he be out here trying to step for us, right?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely be, you know, trying to, you know, maybe he felt, you know, I can admit that he'd be out here stepping on business, but
I don't know. Let's see what the I don't know that video right there, maybe because I see people reacting. That really wasn't that crazy to me, but yeah. I see an article in the Root. Let's see what they talking about. Let's get to the bottom of this because they're saying that he went crazy.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Nah, we probably missed some. I heard him saying stuff about stay out the way. What was that, like subliminals? I don't know. But let's look at this is from The Root. You know, they be speaking on black issues. Sir has several seats. Stephen Jackson ignorantly criticizes Al Sharpton's Tyre Nichols speech. Funeral services were held for Tyre Nichols yesterday at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church in Memphis. In addition to his mother, father, and sister, all delivering powerful remarks. Vice President Kamala Harris made an appearance to denounce another black life lost because of police brutality. Al Sharpton delivered the eulogy, and Ben Crump also shared words.
Kamala Harris pulled up.
Yeah, Kamala. I'll read what Benjamin Crump said. The reason why Mr. and Miss Wells, Nichols' stepfather and mother, what happened to Tyre is so personal to me is that 5 black men that wouldn't have had a job in the police department would not ever be thought of to be in an elite squad in the city that Dr. King lost his life. Not far away from that balcony, you beat a brother to death, Sharpton said. I get what he's saying. He's saying they would have never even had their job if it wasn't for Martin Luther King, and he just got killed. Or when he got killed, it wasn't far away from where they beat him to death. So I get how he pulled it together. Crump stated, why couldn't they see the humanity in Tyre? Crump said of the officers involved. We have the God-given right to say, I am a human being and I deserve justice, not just any justice, but equal justice. However, as far as Sharpton and Crump are concerned, former basketball player Stephen Jackson believes that they were capitalizing off of the death of yet another innocent black person at the hands of the police. Jackson took to social media to share his thoughts. Oh, I guess that video we watched was Stephen responding to the backlash. But let's see what he said on social media. Y'all keep letting these folk fool y'all. Same scene, Al Sharpton and Crump crew. All for political gain. They prey on people's pain. Seen it firsthand with G. Floyd. If it's not a national media case, you won't see them. Yet we getting killed everywhere by police. Free game. Not only were Jackson's comments ignorant, but they were dismissive of the work Sharpton and Crump have been doing for decades. Ironically, Jackson came to the prominence as an activist following the death of George Floyd, which was a national media case. Even more ironically, Sharpton has been protesting, marching, organizing, speaking out, and fighting for black people longer than Jackson has been alive. I said that. Not to mention, he, as well as Crump, put their lives on the line daily to bring attention to injustice against black people. Over the course of their civil rights work, they have been targeted, harassed, attacked. Sharpton was stabbed by one of his detractors in 1991. That's what I was talking about where I say Sharpton put pain out here in the streets. He was out there protesting and somebody jugged him.
All them people he snitched on, man. He was in the streets for real. Sharpton was a gangster, though. Y'all get it. Y'all get it.
I don't know.
It's on video. He was a gangster now. He was doing his thing.
I want to see it. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not denying it, but I just don't know how well you vetted that information. So I would just want to independently confirm, but that's another story. We all got to pass. You know, every yeah. You know, you got to pass. I got to pass. When you trying to be on a moral high ground, you trying to be on a high horse, nigga. Nigga could have been in the street at one point as a black man.
Be in them streets and you go tell on the mob. You know, he admitted he admitted that he was an FBI informant. You need to look up Sharpton, bro. Sharpton done told you.
I've heard that before, but I don't have a problem with that. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? The man is out here speaking on black issues, trying to, you know, push the line. I don't care about that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, their respective documentaries, Loud Mouth and Civil, Ben Crump, were released last year to chronicle their journeys as public advocates for the Black community. Oh, they got a little documentary that dropped. Yeah, check that out. Most recently, Crump made headlines for not only standing beside the Nichols family following the death of Tyre, but for announcing a lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for prohibiting an AP African American Studies course. Critiquing Crump and Sharpton's methods for how they seek justice for Black families is one thing, but to act like their efforts are completely disingenuous is another. Instead of coming after two men who have galvanized the Black community over and over again in the face of racism and hate, Jackson should focus on using his platform to do the same. No, that's an opinion piece.
Yeah, it's
I don't think they were far off though. I mean, I be seeing Steven Jackson, threaten to fight people, and he was on O Block talking about he checked in, and it don't seem like he was doing much different during the George Floyd case. I could have easily said he was a clout chaser. He probably, I could have been like, yo, Steven Jackson know a lot of niggas in the hood that probably ain't here no more. I ain't see him causing all of that, riffraff them. He wasn't kicking up all of that dust. You know what I'm saying? George Floyd, the only person that done died, you feel me, from the hands of police or gun violence, or anything like that. And you made a big deal about that. Did you make a big deal about your other homeboys? You see how easy that is to just have a very pessimistic view of what somebody's trying to do is a good thing. There's a lot of things we could beat up on people on if they're saying something that's not wrong. I mean, if they're saying something that's not right, if they've shown to be doing a scam or something like that, I'm all for it. We could criticize them, but we seen the tape. They were promptly charged and arrested. It seemed like, it's not going to be hard to convict these guys. If there's somebody pushing the issue, representing people pro bono, trying to get bills passed, I mean, damn. Even if you're going to criticize them, you got to do a better job than that. You need to have your stuff lined up, and you need to have maybe a plan of action to make things change, as far as police reform goes and stuff like that. Or you need to be talking about, who you think should be in charge. If you have a hardline opinion about it, you should probably do a better job of criticizing them than what Steven Jackson did. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, I can say that. And yeah, if they trying to be the leaders in this project, if that's who we got to look up to, yeah, I mean,
who else we got?
Work. I know we don't have anybody, and that be the problem too, because our leaders, man,
a lot of our got nobody.
Yeah, you gotta. Since our guys died, we don't have the people that really connect with the people like that, like how Martin and Malcolm did, man. And, I can say a few other names, but I can see that they just be at situations, but we don't see them guys like how we seen Martin and Malcolm. Them guys was really in the field. Them guys was really like, you know what I mean?
Well, we still got some good people. I appreciate the work that Al Sharpton's doing. I don't have a reason to dislike Ben Crump. I see the good work that Yvette Carnell is doing with.
Yes,
ADOS,
that's somebody that needs to be. That's somebody. Yeah,
somebody needs to be lifted up. So
that should be shouted out.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say we don't got nobody.
I like what Charleston White is doing. You know what I mean?
If you like them, you like them.
Yeah. I mean, Yvette Carnell, we got some people out here that's standing on business, but I can honestly say I never seen nothing that Al Sharpton ever said or anything he's trying to put together or some programs he's with that I can say that like I can see this, but I don't see like.
Well, is it possible that he's doing a lot of things that you're just not aware of? Have you done a deep dive on Al Sharpton?
I can't say I've done a deep dive, but I shouldn't have to. Like, you've been around for a long time. You've been around, so it should be nothing for us to know that you got something going on. And
all it takes is to read. Maybe he's doing things that you just haven't looked up.
Maybe
you think that you said you shouldn't have to. So you think the information is just supposed to fall in your lap? He's supposed to knock on your door and be like, "Hey, Bob, it's out here. Just wanted to let you know, you know what I'm saying, some things I did in the past, some things I've been doing recently," or is it your responsibility to seek out the information? Black man.
No, man, to me it just seems like he may be compromised, man. It don't seem like he really want to be loud and standing on our business. That's
He might
my
be compromised
opinion.
by who?
I don't know. I just like his things he doing may be compromised. I don't know.
You just,
I can't tie it to who or what. I'm just saying it.
Okay, you don't know who or what. You don't really know. You just speaking on something. I thought you was talking about something you know.
Yeah.
But you say you just talk about something you really don't know.
No, I can't. I'm not gonna say, who is he. I said that from how I've seen how he moved, it looked like it may be compromised. That's all I'm saying. But
interesting.
He's standing on good business with you. You saying that he having his little speeches when we, when every time we got tragedies. That's good. I mean, if that's standing on business to you, then I mean,
did I say that that's standing on business? I asked you to defend what you were saying.
Know about
you
Al
say
Sharpton
it seemed compromised. I said based on what? What is who's compromised by who? And you couldn't say anything.
When I see him, I don't say, okay, so what do you know Al Sharpton is standing on? What do you know him for?
I know him for speaking out on black issues, activism. Like when cases happen, people get beat up by the police.
Right.
He's there fighting.
Okay. Yeah.
Trying to get a bill passed. They mentioned it in the article. Is Steven Jackson pushing for bills to get passed? Is he? Yeah, what? Is there anything that he's pushing for? What business is he standing on?
I'm not comparing the two. I never.
Okay, so all I'm trying to say is if you say that he looks like he could be compromised, I'm asking you to explain what you're talking about. I'm like, who do you think he's compromised by? Like, what are you saying?
That's all. It just don't. I don't want to bash the brother, but yeah.
He already bashed. You bashed him already. He already bashed because that ship has sailed.
Yo, that ship.
I'm just saying, you might have been led astray about Al Sharpton. I think he's one of those guys that might
get a bad rap.
He might be like that.
FBI. Yeah, I think that could be. He
get a bad rap. I think just black leaders get that. Some of them are some charlatans, and then some of them just get a bad rap.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell who's who sometimes.
Right. It's hard to tell who is who. You're right. I can understand that.
That's why I said before I'm gonna jump out there on them, I'm gonna get my ducks in a row. You feel me? If I don't know, I don't know. But I
know about that. I know about that FBI informant.
I don't care about that though. I really don't care. He ain't told on me though. I'm not looking at him like,
if he don't tell on you.
Listen.
If he told on you, you would be like, man, you ain't right.
Yeah, I would be like, he ain't right. I'll probably hold it against him if he told on me. But when it comes to people who's speaking on black issues, people who's going to be helping us in the political sphere, I'm not going to disqualify somebody because they might have told on somebody back in the day and I don't know the situation. We might have to take on some unlikely allies, dog. That's not what I'm using as a qualifier, dog. I don't know what the situation was, but that ain't a big deal to me, dog. That ain't a big deal. It was the mob. I don't know what the situation was. They might have wanted to kill him or something. They might have betrayed him first. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't telling. Maybe he was just straightening things out. Maybe they tried to put some shit on him. I don't know.
Right. Well, just to clean my name so you don't feel like I'm just jumping out there and just, from what I got from the story that I got, and it wasn't, I actually seen him, he actually was gonna get in trouble and decided to do that. So it was like he wasn't a clean fish and he decided to deter and tell on the mob. So that's where I'm going. That to me is, just a little shady, that's all. And when you got that, that's just,
I see people, whatever, man.
All
That's
the
a
time,
whole
right?
nother-
I feel you. You're right. No, it's no.
like whether he
He's
did
an
it or
older
not.
guy,
We
right.
could get into that.
Right.
That don't really change nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like he would still be my guy. If I like let's assume that was true, right?
Right.
If he was out here standing on business for black people, trying to get justice for the Nichols family or some semblance of justice, you feel me? And the only thing that they could bring up is maybe back in the day he told on the mall to get out of trouble, I could forgive him for that. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, I could. No, it's that. It's just, like you said, we got to understand. We be liking to understand people's characters. Us, once we from that cloth, we want to know that you stand on a good foundation of morals, and I can see he's standing on good morals now. I can see that, but from back in his past, from what I showed it,
I think you made that clear. We don't want to keep saying that. We get it, you know what I'm saying? But Crump is, I'm in Florida right now, just like you in Florida.
Yeah, it's different.
Ron DeSantis, he trying to block an AP African American study for teaching actual history, and Crump is fighting against that. Let's see how it pans out. That's something that I care about. I can't get in the courtroom right now. We need somebody to represent that. I don't want to see books being banned, especially if they're telling African American history. We need guys like him.
They got to be telling the right history.
All I'm trying to say is we need guys like him.
Yeah, okay. But that bill, what you're saying is, I agree that we need to be educated and we need to be teaching our kids. So they have to know, if we don't know and we expecting somebody else to give the information, I feel like it's better that our kids hear from us and make sure we got it.
Not everybody got time for that, man. People working 40 hours a week. They got to come home and cook dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get you, but this is very important.
But we're not even talking about something that you might even not. We're talking about an African AP studies. Only a small percentage of kids go take this, and this is going to count towards your college. You might not even be equipped to teach your kids on this level.
Well, from what I was hearing, the only reason Ron DeSantis, he told him to come back with something else because it was a lot of queer. What did he call it? Queer
theory.
Queer theory in there. So yeah, if y'all using our African American history to push some kind of agenda.
Yeah, but have you seen the curriculum?
I haven't. I'm just giving you my opinion on if this is the case. I can understand why. Yeah, we need to get that right before you don't try to use our history and try to put all
you don't listen. You don't know the context of it. Maybe. Okay, do black queer people exist?
Yeah, they exist.
Okay, so maybe there was a relevant reason to include it in African AP studies, but you don't know that. You haven't seen the curriculum.
In our past, I don't think the queer. Yeah, I mean, if you bringing up our African American history and you're bringing up queer stuff, is I think it's much better stuff that you could talk. I think it's much better history. I didn't see the curriculum, but if that's what you're getting to at our ancestors and our African American history, yeah, I can see how I wouldn't be total. I gotta see it. Don't let me, you know what I mean? But
yeah, that's a better answer. Just see it.
Yeah. Before I tell you, but
it's just like you. It's like the pilot of a plane telling you, like, look, man, the weather ain't good. We ain't gonna take off right now. You're like, no, I think we should take off. I ain't really seen, the weather. I ain't really seen the flight plan, but I just feel like, we should be able to take off, and you ain't even skilled like that. It's like let them be. No, it's not a bad analogy. You just think that because you thought that you could teach your kids this shit at home. You know what I'm saying? Like you just qualified to do it. People think that teaching is not something that people go to school for and have to get degrees to be able to do. This is AP studies.
Right, but if it got some stuff in there, us as parents, we have to be able to vet what's going on. We can't just say, all right, hey, let them learn this, and we don't have no understanding, and we can't vet what they're teaching and making sure that it's on point. So I'm not mad at.
That's not nothing wrong with that. If you as a parent, right, want to regulate something, that's fine. I don't trust Ron DeSantis to be the guy to say, oh, this is not appropriate or this is appropriate for AP studies. And if it was something in there, it might be the right context to be included in there. I'm not going to trust what Ron DeSantis is. These are the same people that's talking about critical race theory is racist when it's just talking about the true history of America. That's the guy that you're trusting to tell you that he got rid of an AP African Americans study course because of queer theory. He told him he rejected it and told him to bring it back, but that's trying to get rid of it. This is the same guy who used racist districting lines, like have gerrymandered maps in a racist way and push that, so he could win elections. He's always at the forefront of some racist shit. Some
clout chasing.
No, hear what I'm saying. He's always at the forefront of some racist shit. I didn't say clout chasing.
That's I'm saying he's always at the front of some racist stuff as well.
Okay, you could call it clout chasing. What I'm trying to say is people who vote in Florida want somebody that they could channel their hate through. If they look at DeSantis as somebody that's going to be hard on blacks, do stuff that'll hurt black people the most, they'll be more like, there's some people out there that'll be more likely to vote for him. He has a long history of doing this kind of thing. So it's naive for you to think that DeSantis is blocking an African AP studies course in good faith. If you think that's what's going on, then I don't think you know a lot about politics or Ron DeSantis. That's how I'm going to look at it.
I mean, I'm going off of what he said. That's what you said.
Yeah, he's not somebody to be trusted. I'm saying he's not a credible person.
That's just what I told you, what I felt about Al Sharpton. I get what you're saying. You saying the man's not a credible person.
You don't know how to stay on. You don't know how to stay focused on one thing. You like to go over the river, through the woods to
how I felt.
House.
Right. I just said that, and you was like, "Hey, I see what the man stand on." I'm just going off of the AP study that this man said, and he just brought up. Hey, I didn't like the queer stuff in there. Bring it back, reform it, take that stuff out, and let's get the AP studies. He didn't say, "Hey, I ain't doing it." And
he's against CRT.
Bringing up his.
That's what I'm trying to say. You don't know anything about this guy. I can tell you.
Talking about.
Let me educate you. Let me educate you. Do you know that he's against CRT? Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't know. So I'm trying to educate you. He's against black people. Let me put it in simple terms for you. He's always tried to ban books. He's doing things that'll hurt gay people, hurt black people. So it's right up his alley. So if he's blocking the AP, that's why I'm saying he ain't credible. I don't want him to be the final okay or nay when it comes to African American studies.
Okay.
I don't trust him.
But a lot of people trust him. He's your governor here in Florida. So,
man, you get more conservative every time we do this. Like, you just be caping for right-wing people.
I'm not.
I don't know what it is with you. Like, why are you so infatuated with?
And you let go of my past for somebody. And I let
you do that a lot, bro. You always see it the conservative way. Even when Jason Whitlock was talking, he was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." I'm like, I had to pause it. Like, what? What about this sounds good to you?
You said the same. What? He ain't say nothing then.
All right. Maybe it's just me.
But you said the man don't like black people. Okay, I mean that's
you be like that. It's weird to me. Like you drag Al Sharpton, but you over here caping for Ron DeSantis. It's weird. Just like that time you brought up Ted Cruz and you talk about, well, Ted Cruz said that gas prices is Joe Biden for. What do you think about that? I'm like, damn. Like, what is it about these right wing people that you just trust them so much? Like you think like, I don't know. I don't know.
I
Maybe you just don't know enough of.
No, I don't trust them at all. But I go off of this situation that you said that I
Fair
know
enough.
about. That's
Fair
all I'm
enough.
talking about.
I don't know if you know about it. I don't get that. I don't get that. But you know, that's just your. It could be that you consume a lot of right wing media, and it's just influencing you, and you don't even realize it.
I don't like right or left wing. I'm not a
Yeah,
I don't
right.
like politics. What do you mean? I'm not on that at all. Like you said,
Yeah,
I feel
right.
like they're a bird to feather, just like you said. I feel like it's like this.
It ain't just like I said. Now you're gonna try to just misquote something I said.
Well, similar to what you said.
Right.
But don't throw me on that right side.
I'm gonna throw you on there. I'm gonna just call it how I see it, bro. I'm gonna just call it how I see it.
Of what you saying,
nah,
what you're saying.
You're not. Let me move on. I'm gonna move on to something else. I'm gonna let you have that. You know, if you with DeSantis, I ain't gonna try. I ain't
said I'm with DeSantis. No, don't.
I'm saying if you is with him, I'm not gonna try to change your mind.
That's what I'm saying. I said. She took.
Now y'all so worried about what's going on with Young Thug. Niggas don't realize that Trump is about to catch a RICO. Oh yes, Trump is about to catch a RICO. I'm gonna make that prediction. I'm gonna jump out there. I know you don't like that. I know that's your guy. You feel me? But I'm gonna call it how I see it.
Guy. It's not my guy. That's Kodak guy.
Okay. You don't like Trump more than Biden?
More than Biden, I can say I feel like Trump. Yeah, I mean.
All right,
Biden,
that's all I wanted to know. All right, she took on Atlanta's gangs. Now she may be coming for Trump. Fani Willis's aggressive tactics have sparked criticism and won over voters. What do they tell us about how she might prosecute the former president? Peep the science now. Peep the science. I'm gonna read it right so they get to the good part. Because this article will take you about 41 minutes to read through. I ain't gonna read the whole thing. I think the first part is good though. Hear me out. Late on the first Sunday of 2021, news broke of President Donald J. Trump's call with Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger of Georgia, asking him to find 11,780 votes to help contest the 2020 election. The next morning, Monday, January 4th, was Fani Willis's first day in the office as the district attorney of Fulton County, which encompasses most of Atlanta, as well as the suburbs like Sandy Springs, East Point, and Alpharetta. Not the second day, she told me when I met her in November. My very first day in this office, in that conference room, it's all over the TV. She found herself hoping that the Secretary of State might have been in another country when it happened, she said, laughing darkly. He was not. And so Willis said, I'm stuck with it. Just to be clear, she was hoping that Raffensperger was in another country when it was on the phone call, so it wouldn't have to be her responsibility. She didn't want to have to get involved in flipping Trump, but the shit happened in her backyard, so she was stuck with it. Outside Atlanta, Willis is now best known for this singular potential criminal target. Trump's efforts, I don't know if she's best known for Trump. In my circle, she's best known for Thug, but we'll continue. Trump's effort to interfere in the outcome of the election in Georgia and both phone calls to the local officials and potentially as part of a scheme to organize alternate electors have been under investigation by Willis's office since February 2021. The Trump lawyer Rudolph Giuliani, the Rudy Giuliani as we know, and former White House counsel Pat Cipollone have testified before a special grand jury. So have former Senator Kelly Loeffler of Georgia, Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, and Raffensperger himself. In January, the special grand jury completed its investigatory work, submitting a report to Willis's office and to a superior court judge, based on which Willis may or may not send evidence to a regular grand jury to seek criminal charges against Trump or his allies. If she does, there's every indication that she might bring one of her favorite prosecutorial tools to bear: racketeering charges, as laid out in the federal RICO, Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, more famously used to prosecute the mafia and criminal street gangs. Trump has attacked Willis on his Truth Social platform as a young, ambitious, radical left Democrat prosecutor from Georgia who is presiding over one of the most crime-ridden and corrupt places in the USA. That's a quote from Trump. For a national audience not paying close attention to Atlanta politics, this claim might not sound fantastical. Willis, 51, is a Democrat and the first Black woman to serve as Fulton County District Attorney, the first woman, period. And her victory in 2021 came amid a wave of reform-minded progressive prosecutors winning seats. So, she is on the left and she is shaking stuff up. I ain't gonna read it all, but Fani Willis, she got her hands full over here. Ain't that a big deal?
Yeah, it's a big deal. She trying to hit Trump with a RICO. That's a big deal.
She clout chasing. That's what you would say, right? That's what you would say, right?
I mean, if she got good evidence on him that she got a charge for him, I mean.
Yeah, but she clout chasing a little bit. You see how she got on that press conference, talking about Thug.
Yeah.
She wanted everybody to know.
We all do a little clout chasing.
Yeah, I ain't knocking her for that. You got to get it how you live, boo. That's how she got that job. Remember, YSL Mondo was just talking about how on another case she was representing him. So she came from being a private criminal defense lawyer, and look how far she's come.
Dang, that's crazy.
Her clout chasing working.
Dang. She was, imagine her telling you, yeah, we're gonna beat these cases.
I mean,
script on you. And she like, now she done got all that information. She know how to bam y'all up, boy. That's crazy. Isn't that a conflict of interest?
It could have been, but she ain't bring no, she's not included in the YSL case. So, but I just thought that was interesting how it parallels. We talk about entertainers a lot. We talk a lot about hip hop. I'm a hip hop nerd. You love hip hop yourself, and we always talk about how there's parallels there. How they, hip hop is politics to a great degree, whether people realize that or not. Yeah. And we see this parallel now. Trump, the same guy that pardoned Kodak Black, the same guy that was arguing for A$AP Rocky to come back when he had that thing going on. What that was in Sweden or something that was where he was. I don't remember. I might be wrong about the place, but you remember that, right? Yeah. Remember when Trump was barking to get who that was? It was one of the Ball brothers when they was over there in an Asian country.
I don't know about that
Man,
one.
hold on. I got to pull that one up now. Hold on. Trump always involved with somebody who involved in the country.
Trump be clout chasing too, Trump is king clout chasing.
Yeah, Trump, when he was speaking about LiAngelo Ball getting him out of jail when the Chinese authorities had him cased up. You don't remember that story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Trump invited Kanye to the White House. And now he getting investigated by the same guy as Young Thug. Wait, let's not forget, Trump pardoned Lil Wayne. And now he's getting investigated by the same lady who brought a RICO on Young Thug. Yeah, I spilled some. Yeah, that's when you know it's time to quit. It's time to get off the stream. It ain't too bad though. But yeah, ain't that crazy though?
Yeah.
Same dude who pardoned Lil Wayne about to catch a RICO from the same lady who got the RICO on Young Thug right now.
I don't know, man. Trump kind of like, I get where she going, but Trump like John Gotti out here, man.
Yeah, that's Teflon Don.
Teflon Don. I don't know. I think it's just rap right now.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was a big piece. It was written on February 2nd, New York Times.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people who smarter with that kind of stuff than I am, you know.
Yeah.
They seem to think there might be some merit to it. So we'll see.
We'll
you
see.
know, the wheels of justice move kind of slow when it comes to stuff like that, but we'll see. But I think we gave him enough, Bob.
Yeah, man. We dang sure gave him enough, man.
Yeah.
So hey, make sure y'all comment, man. Let us know what y'all think. Am I way on the am I off? You know,
yeah, let
I
us
need to
know.
get checked. Let me
Is
know,
Bob
you know.
is Bob too right wing? Am I tripping?
That's crazy.
Am I too on the left? Do I got it mixed up? We'd love to hear what you think about it in the comments.
I would. I definitely would. So hey, we're gonna catch y'all in the next video, man. Peace.